Oh man.
All right, so we got to do that. I don't know if we got to do the whole bit again. But for y'all that we were talking earlier and it didn't really make sense to y'all, this is what we were saying. Like, there's like laughing and intro music and clapping, and this is how we feel right now. If we looking pretty, this moment right now. I didn't play this one earlier. Bad joke. I knew. At least I'm glad that I figured that out.
And it wasn't just at the end.
Yeah. So all that stuff from earlier. So we were just making jokes and like we probably look really dumb because you can't hear it. But here we are. We sound a whole lot better now, don't we?
Yeah. Right.
So we were talking about the vaccine and shit and Bad Bunny, and then you also made a comment before we started how the entire world is in Puerto Rico and everybody's going to Puerto Rico right now.
We might as well just all go. Hey, everybody who's watching, you know, if you're watching, let's just all take a trip together because at this point, I think it's just normal for everybody to just go. Not only us, but even famous people. So we're all just going to be over there by the end of the year, you know. The summer's just going to be packed. It's just everybody's going to be there. Just a meet and greet, you know.
Cause I don't know if I feel like you can agree, but like in this past month or 2 months or so, I think I've seen like everybody that I know's Instagram story. They've at least spent a week in Puerto Rico.
Went to Puerto Rico,
and some have done multiple. Some have like gone and then like came back and then gone again and then came back and then gone again.
Who's literally been there every other week, and it's just like, yo,
like these planes are these planes like SEPTA prices right now? Like, is that why people are just
125? 125, you get on the bus, yo. Pay a little bit more, you know, so a two-way, you know. One guy just do one
round trip.
Yeah, just a round trip. So it's pretty cool. Let me know where y'all finding these deals at. It's just like
the scammers out here.
Facts. Y'all got somebody that's in the connector. So let us know. We want to go down there too.
We next.
Exactly. We're gonna do an episode down there.
Over there. We're gonna take everything.
Exactly. So
we're gonna be on the beach, like all this wind. just like Hawaiian shirt flapping in the wind. Just
hear somebody, hey, mira, Corona.
I'm gonna buy some like water ice like mid
mid
recording
over there though. So the shaved ice.
That not pitojo. What the fuck is it called? Damn, bro, why am I having a Hispanic brain fart right now?
It just shows we need to go over there.
Pitojo is moonshine. What the fuck is the other shit called? Bruh, I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't remember this. We're gonna keep pushing, but I'm gonna remember this shit. Being something. What the fuck?
That just goes to show we need to go back over there.
Bro, like I'm not even, because they used to sell it like on fucking Fifth Street.
Yeah,
and what is that called? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
Piragua. It's piragua. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh my god, I was gonna be so upset if I didn't remember that.
Yo, the amount of force.
I'm hot.
The amount of force
it just like I was like, oh shit. But yeah, we're gonna buy one of those. Speaking of scammers though,
Dumb scammers.
I low key got scammed.
Really?
Yeah, not scammed, but like a scammer got me. I think
as far
somehow
as, like, they took something from you. Or
yes. They took my dignity. No, so. You know this, Mark. We like the few times we've talked and like recording shit and like streamed together. It's just been a tough last couple of weeks of college. I've been hella stressed at work. You have been too.
Yes.
I just like after like doing all this work yesterday, I finally feel like I caught up on sleep and like I don't feel like exhausted anymore. Mm-hmm. But like this past week has just been shitty because like I had all that going on, and then on Sunday, I was doing stuff for my graduation, like because they needed me to like fill out this form if I was gonna go or not, and they needed a picture of me to put because they're gonna do like in person and like online. So Sunday I was stressed about doing that because the deadline was the following day, and I didn't really have anything yet just because of how stuff was working out. Like shit just wasn't going my way. Sunday I'm doing that. I'm like not even in the mood to be doing it because I'm just stressed in general, and I do it. Go inside. I get a phone call from my bank. Yeah, my bank called me. And they're like, hey, like, can you give us a call back? Like, we like call us on the same number because we got some charges on your account. We want to verify with you. So I call them back, and it's just not good. So
it's just not good. Play the sad music.
Oh, what the fuck? Which one is it?
No. I think above it.
Yeah, it's just not good. So they call me and I'm just like, hey, like, what's going on? And they're like, yeah, we just want to verify some information, make sure it's you, and also like check some purchases on your account, make sure if it was you or not. I'm like, sure, no problem.
Of course.
Lay it on me.
Probably just
And they're like,
one thing.
she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna run through a couple. Let me know if these are you or not, and then we'll just go from there.
You like a couple. So
Yeah,
like, hold on.
no, she was just like, I'm just gonna go through your recent transactions
Okay, yeah, just to see
and just let me know like what
at
sounds
what
good
point,
to you
yeah,
or like what's like
that
what the
actually
fuck.
makes sense.
So she's like, yeah, we got a $10 from Chick-fil-A, a $25 from Chick-fil-A, $50 from Chick-fil-A, $100 from Chick-fil-A, and then I was at this point I was already like, no, like
You're like at $10. That sounds, you know.
But I ain't been in, I ain't go to Chick-fil-A in like 2 weeks.
Gone there, so it's just
And she's like, hold on, like I just went.
but wait.
She's like, but wait.
800 at Chick-fil-A.
She's like, but wait, there's more.
We're still
I got
at Chick-fil-A.
What else did she say? She's like, oh, I got a $25 at Domino's, a $50 at Domino's, a $100 at Domino's. So I'm like, all right, there's a trend.
There's a trend.
There's a trend here.
There's a trend at the amount and the trend of food. So.
And I forgot where else did she say. I think it might have been McDonald's, but same thing. Like she went again. I'm like, all right, yo, like I'm like, you don't need to read no more before you give me a heart attack. Like that ain't me. And like and this was all in 24 hours.
Damn.
So some fat fuck
Shit.
was out here using my information to order shit. She was probably like the person was probably getting like gift cards.
Yeah.
Or
it makes sense for the amount.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
I think it was probably like them trying to get gift cards out of me, so they could just use later before I caught on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she was doing that, and then she's like, all right, so can you tell me more about it? Because I haven't had Domino's in a minute. I didn't do McDonald's in a minute, and I had Chick-fil-A, but it was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, so I know that's not me. And she's like, okay, well, the Chick-fil-A was in like something Ohio. This one was like in something Ohio. This one, I'm like, yo, like if you check my cart, like, but at least I know that Sunday morning I bought breakfast.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, like if you see this, like the last time I used my car, because she asked me, I was like, it was like around noon, I grabbed food from this place, and it wasn't a chain or anything, it was like a small restaurant. She's like, all right, cool. No, this is what she told me. So she was like, when's the last time you used your card? I'm like, oh, I used it around noon today to get breakfast. And then she's like, oh, at Buffalo Wild Wings? I was like, what? I was like, I haven't been to Buffalo Wild Wings. So what is going, like, no, that's not me.
I'm dead.
And she just kept, I'm like, yo, how many places is this place trying to get me from? She's like, yeah, $25. I'm like, don't you see a problem here?
Exactly.
This person keeps getting the same amount at every location.
25, 50, 100.
So immediately right off the bat, she's like, okay, so we're going to have to like suspend your account. And I'm just like,
So you're saying I have no money?
yeah, like I'm just like,
So like,
wasn't that some, you had a sound earlier, it would have been perfect for that, but I was just like froze. And I'm like, all right, like can't really do anything about it. Like as like that's it. Like okay, like I understand. Like obviously like my information has been compromised.
yeah.
I gotta get rid of the card.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I gotta burn the card.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of it.
Yeah. So I'm just like, fuck. Like thankfully I have my credit card, so I could at least do that. And they're like, all right, we're gonna send you a new card. I'm like, I'm not in a rush. Just mail it out to me. I still haven't gotten it.
When was it?
This was Sunday.
Okay.
They said 3 to 5 business days. Today's the 5th business day. So if I go home, I better be there.
Yeah, better be there.
So yeah, that's what happened there.
Yeah, that's just.
And I was just like, what the fuck? Like I was already on edge, and then I had that,
yeah.
and then I was just getting undressed from like taking my graduation pictures because I like just dressed up, and I'm just like, yo, like fuck today, yo, like this sucks. Like I have like I have work to do tonight. Like I like you ever like have some shit happen to you, like, you know what, I just want to chill. Like my days. Like my day's already like you ever you already have some shit happen to you. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the day because like I give up. We'll try again tomorrow. And I couldn't do that because I had deadlines for like the following day and shit.
That's funny. Yeah, you just sit there and you're like, you know what? I had shit I wanted to do, but it's like tomorrow we can do that.
Yeah, like
it's just like it hits you.
So that shit was terrible. So now I have no access to use my like banking account. And then to end the call, I'm like, you know what? Like, I understand. Like, you're gonna mail it out to me. Like, they said I wasn't gonna get charged for any of that stuff. Like, they were gonna dispute it.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, thank you. Like, no problem. As long as that gets settled, I don't have an issue. Like, I had a lot of work to do, so I'm like, I'm not going out all week. So like, I'm not gonna be spending money, and I have my credit card if I really need to. I'm like, can you at least tell me what my balance is? I'm like, can you at least tell me what my balance is so I know like what's going on or like how bad it got? And she. And at that point, I was already in a bad mood, And I was like, yo, like,
You should have
please.
never said it.
I know, I'm just, but like the part of me was just stressing because I'm like, yo, how bad did they get me for? Like they kept saying like $100, $25, $50. So I'm like, it's already getting bad. So I'm like, just let me know, like, just so if anything, if I ever open my app, that too. I tried to open my app and my password wasn't working. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Something's not right.
So I was already stressed. I'm like, y'all can't even see my bank account information. Like, oh my God, I'm broke. Like, how am I gonna pay my shit?
It's like, yo, you're so broke, you can't get into your account, bro.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, like, can you at least tell me what my balance is, ma'am? Like, just so I can like have a little bit of like,
just clarity.
just to brace myself. And she's like, unfortunately, like I'm at like security, so like I can't really like give you your information. Like you gotta go to call a different line or like go online. And that's when I started stressing because I got off the phone with her and I couldn't get into my online shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? So eventually I changed it and like figured it out. So everything was good. They only got me like for like $200 after all that stuff. And I'm not, and like it's not gonna reflect on me. Like they put a credit on my account to like counteract it. So I'm cool. But just that little like heart attack that I had was just not fun. So don't get scammed out here. Which is what's making me trying to think as well as like, yo, like who got me?
Yeah, like how and
like I don't keep like my card information on my Apple Pay or anything.
Yeah.
I don't have at least my debit card, like I don't have it on my phone or like laptop saved.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, like who filled my gas tank up or like who at the fucking like KFC like burnt me for my shit?
Somebody. Had to be somebody who loved food too.
I think that was just the easiest way, like, cause if you think about it, like, cause it was still pending, so they can just get that credit that gift card and just bounce with it. Even if I freeze the card, they could keep. They probably walked off with those cards, you know.
Still active, so.
So I think that's like the scammer way, and even if they do that, they can like sell those cards for real money.
Yo, I got $50 Chick-fil-A, $50.
So, yeah, so like, that was my week, and I finally got past all like the majority of my schoolwork. I still got like 2 projects left, but I finally like felt like I was catching up on sleep. But tomorrow I'm doing a 24-hour charity stream. So no sleep, and then Sunday we're doing like my grandma's birthday, so I'm really not gonna be sleeping. So I'm not gonna get to sleep until like Monday, and that's not even true because I have something to do, a presentation for Monday.
Nice.
How about you, Mark? How are you doing?
Pretty swell. Yeah, can't really complain. I was like, I think yesterday I was looking with my mom, just looking for cars and stuff like that. Nice. So I was looking around, you know.
Quinn's selling his car.
He is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. But yeah, so I was just doing that and just kind of looking at cars and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool, you know. But sometimes, you know, those people there be trying to not so much get you, but they just be trying to show you every little thing.
Yeah.
You're just like, well, we got this car. It's like, well, you know, I kind of asked you just for this car. It's like, what? We do have cars over here that you like. I'm like, bro, chill. Like,
you went to like a dealership, or you like, okay? I
went to a dealership, so it's just like, it's kind of what I was dealing with.
Which one?
Down. No. Over. No. Up.
We're gonna get a hang of it. I promise.
Oh man, that was a good one. Yeah. So that was just kind of like thing because I was doing that multiple days, so I was just kind of looking through that. But
it's fire. It's fire. What are you looking into?
Looking as far as cars, I'm like, I really want to get like a Honda. You know, don't want to be so basic, but hey, they're reliable.
Yeah.
Why not? It's like, hey. And then I was also looking because I'm really into looking at making sure like the car looks at least somewhat good on the outside. Like I'm really into the exterior looking pretty good. Obviously the interior, you know, of course, but the exterior, you know, I really like. So I was like, I know Honda, and then I was also looking at Kia. They kind of have some good ones too.
Talking to your mic a little bit, you're a little far.
Also,
there you go.
Yeah, sounds better. Honda and also just kind of Kia. They kind of look pretty good on their exterior. So I was like, let me go and look at those. So.
Respect. What you gonna get, a K5? What you doing?
No.
Okay.
No. I've seen those. Those Jones out of pocket. Them Jones, they like just made them. Jones.
Yeah.
2021. Fucking, I forget the price I saw for it.
I don't even know how much they cost, but I know like
it's definitely over $20K, and I'm just like, I was when I saw that I was like, okay, no. I was like, no. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, definitely not doing that.
That's good.
Yeah. Gotta keep it moving
Of course, of course.
on the drive.
Yep. Soon as you get your car, I'm never driving around you again.
Please don't. I don't want you to. I don't want you to. Shit. I'm gonna be one of those people that is just out for no reason. You just see her and just like, oh, who around? I'm like, oh, I'm around the bully. What's up? Who around?
I feel
like 2 hours later, it's like, oh, I'm at Aramingo.
Yeah.
They're like, bro, where are you? Like,
the boulevard not the same anymore.
it's not. Ever since they put the cameras there, it's like nobody's there.
You're
Well,
right.
and it's not like people would go there, but it's just the idea of like, I don't know. You would see so many people kind of just on it, and then because
Keep
of
it with you. Keep it with you.
because of the cameras, being there, it's just not it anymore, And I would go down there mainly whenever I would get a cut because my barber lives down the bully. So when I would come back, I'm always there driving, and sometimes I will forget, and then I low-key would see the sign, and I'm like, shit, slow down, because they would just have it there randomly.
I'm still not used to it because I don't use it as much as I used to. So whenever I'm there,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I gotta like relax. Like,
Yeah. And it's only like, well, for me, I only do it to where the camera is. The ones that
Yeah.
I'm out.
but yeah, I mean, it's good that they did that, but it's like it doesn't hit the same anymore. Now, before you used to get on the boulevard,
I just feel like 40 was just not it. Like you want somebody to go 40 on a road that just goes straight.
Yeah,
Like, like what?
no turns, no nothing. Like at least make it
Exactly.
like 60.
Yeah, like or 55. Like I don't know.
True,
50,
55.
Like 55. Like, that sounds better, but 40, like you literally asking for traffic.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's probably like way worse with traffic now too.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. That
Don't
makes no sense.
Don't get me wrong. At the same time, like that place was like a death trap, and like
True, like it definitely.
there's
needed
houses
it.
right there, like
Yeah.
sidewalks and shit. There's no barriers.
They needed to have some type.
There were too many stories of people just like driving off it and shit.
I actually saw an accident one time when I was on the bully. It happened like in front, like I think kind of like in front of me, and somebody kind of like. I think I know what happened. So you know how like you're not supposed to turn into another lane as far as like the other side. Like obviously there's lanes and like you have the middle, and then you have the right side. Like if you're going down or up, like you have those two big lanes. Like you're
Mhm.
not supposed to go from that middle section to the
Outside.
like, you can't turn there, And I think one time I was on the outer section, and I was like more over to the right, and the somebody was in the middle section. They tried to turn in, and they accidentally like they hit somebody, and I'm just like, bro, like. What was your thought process? Like, I just didn't get it. And all that happened, and it was just pretty bad. And I was just like, damn. But that was just honestly just stupidity. So,
Yeah.
that was just honestly.
There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. I don't know. It just, at least I don't got to deal with it no more. I'm in Jersey where if you're driving anything slower than 80, there's a grandma behind your ass, like,
Yeah.
upset that you're going so slow.
True. But then again, you go any faster, and then the cops right on your ass.
Exactly, which makes no sense. But I'm just like, all right.
You know how fast you're going? Well, I'm sorry, officer. Did you get her back there, the old lady? Because she zoomed past me.
Be making no sense. I seen somebody the other day, like I was on my way home and somebody was doing like the drunk driving test, like walking in a straight line and shit. And I was just like, damn, like my man's is fucked. Cause he did not look like he was passing.
He was like, you gone, bro.
And I couldn't just help but think about that Reno 911 thing where like the cowboy does it. And the cop is like, all right, like you do this dance and do this. And he does all that. He's like, and I think if you do that and you add a little bit of this. And he's like, oh, and the cop's like, oh, like you're a really good dancer. He's like, nah, I'm just drunk.
Right.
And they're just like, ah.
You ever see that that one video too of the one guy who's I think he's like in a parking lot, and I don't know if he's drunk, but the cop tries to get him to like calm down, and then he ends up getting him on the ground, and he's like, oh my god, officer.
Oh yeah.
He was like, my
He's like,
safe word is pineapple. My safe word is pineapple.
And he starts going through it. He's like, oh my. He's like,
That shit is
watch
so
your fingers,
funny.
booty hole man.
Yo, that video is so funny, yo. Every time I see it, I'm like, damn. I'm like, imagine you just being that comfortable. Like, yo.
That's the situation. Like, if you know you ain't doing anything wrong, and the cops just fucking up, you just that where he's like, all right, like my safe word is pineapple. It's like, ooh.
Ooh. Oh man, yeah. I would never get tired of that video.
Yeah. Not to be all sad and shit. Wrong one. What it?
No, I think it's the corner. No, it isn't.
There's no sad one.
It's not really a sad one.
Sorry. You got some over there.
We
They'll probably
tried,
be
yeah.
good.
I
But
don't know.
to switch gears real quick, just to pay respects. We talked about this. Is probably gonna be a little bit late for us when this comes out, but unfortunately, we talked about it in one of the episodes that previously came out. But DMX has passed away since we recorded it.
Hmm.
We'll say our respects there. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Big part in my life. I don't know about yours,
Yeah,
Mark.
it is.
But yeah, I said before, I vividly remember listening to his first 2 albums when he came out,
Exactly.
and my dad's Mazda speaker
Dad's
system
Mazda.
got stolen, but it's all good. I still remember it. And it's unfortunate that he passed away. He's iconic. Just all you can really say about it. Hope he rests in peace. Hope his family's good.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Mark?
Yeah, same. I just feel like again, it still kind of feels a little key like unreal, you know.
Yeah, like
Because,
he passed away too young, too early. He was
yeah.
only 50 years old.
To the point where you're just like, man, like we still could have got so much more out of it. I mean, regardless, even if he was like somewhat, you know, like retired or anything like that, it was
Or
kind of
just him being alive.
Yeah, just him being alive and living his life, sharing like you know what he wants to do, and you know, it's just sad to see him go.
I'm not ready for like when we're older and it's gonna be like time that some of these people are gonna go.
Yeah.
Like
I
when
say
Kanye dies or Drake dies
I'm
or
like, I
J.
say this all the time because you know, like seeing like my mom and seeing like people she grown up like as far as like
Mhm.
actors, musicians, like somebody like you know like. And again, Michael Jackson was still like you know
He
young.
died at like
But-
52.
Yeah, but it was that idea where it's like you know my parents like grew up kind of listening to his music, so it's like it's crazy to see how eventually that will kind of be the same boat for us, where it's just like man, like the actors we see, you know, like random actor, but like Jonah Hill. Like,
Yeah.
you're just like
oh, like Seth Rogen's gonna hurt. Steve
Exactly.
Carell,
Exactly.
Jim Carrey, like
Like,
all
all
those
those
guys are
people.
gonna
and I'm just gonna be
break my heart.
yeah. Especially those really like you know like you said like Seth Rogen like Jim Carrey like those funny ones like those people that you know always
Will
no matter
Ferrell,
yeah like those people that always no matter what you know put a smile on your
Mhm.
face and it's just like
Or, like,
damn
did like kid roles like in our childhood and shit.
kid roles and then as far as like
Because like even with Robin Williams, it's like fuck. Like
Exactly.
to this
Now,
day,
like-
I'm just like still not over that.
yeah like seeing clips from movies that he did I'm just like man like it's crazy to think that like that was it and it's the idea like we'll never be able to see like what you know could have like possibly he done more you know so
Not ready for that day.
exactly
And then also, again, I feel like we always have to do this, but there's more recent news. I forget if I'm getting his name wrong, but Dante Wright,
Mhm.
his situation in I forgot what city it was, but again, it's at this point it's just X name in X location
Mhm.
gets killed by a cop and like
Yeah.
done wrong basically,
done wrong
injustice.
yeah, the situation for it just it makes no sense and again they try to make it seem like hey you know this and this was the reason but it's just
He's a
like,
bad person or whatever.
yeah,
Like
and it's just like who are you to literally judge to do that to somebody and even again that's like not your job like a cop's job isn't to literally like kill somebody and
It's
again
to-
it's nothing that's
it's to de-escalate situations.
yeah,
It's never
and it's never and I'm not saying again like I'm not saying anything about cops in general like you know they're bad like nothing like that it's just the idea of like there's certain cops out there that literally take that rule or that duty as in like okay I'm allowed to do kind of whatever I want if I feel somewhat threatened and it's just like no like it's not
And then
the
the-
idea at all.
like at this point I just feel disrespected by the excuses and
yeah
all this other shit. Like at this point it's like yo, like fuck you. Like
yeah like you actually have the audacity to
look
write a statement or look at the camera and say that,
and look at another adult and say, "Oh, I thought it was a taser." Like yo, like
bro
if I were in front of you, I would have smacked you. Like why are you like
Exactly.
that's just like a bad lie that's just almost it just hurt the reasoning just hurts more like of just like why would you even try and pull that on me like you're full of shit. And like we can go on and on about the situation and like point out so many reasons where they went wrong, but like we've done this how many times since we've done this podcast? Like I think
lot.
every single one that we hear about we speak on and it's
There's at
damn
least-
near the same narrative every
at least
time.
something happens like at least once like every month I swear like it literally does and it's a shame that that number is just it's ridiculous to see that happen you know as frequently as it is
And not to like brush off his story specifically, like Dante's story, but it's just like it's getting like rest in peace to him. It's obviously terrible. He had children, he had a girlfriend, but it's the same story every time, and it's not his fault or anything. I'm just saying like I'm just tired of speaking on like it's ad nauseum to this point. Like same thing. over and over,
Yeah.
and
And
I
it,
don't like
and
it's.
it's like that person could have did something wrong, but that cop didn't need to do
It never. What
at
regardless if they did
all
wrong, it never
anything.
warranted what the reaction
Yeah,
that
that's
it
what I'm
gives.
saying. Like, regardless if they did something wrong, it never had gotten to that point or anything like that. Like, so it's just a shame that that's what some people think. Oh, that's what we have to do.
He jaywalked one time, so he was a bad person. So
And
that's why he got shot. It's like no, regardless if even if for whatever reason, say X name person is robbed a store and is getting away, and the cop catches up to them. That doesn't mean kill them. Regardless,
yeah.
even though they did something wrong, you
Yeah.
can still arrest them and give them due process and do all that shit. They're
Yeah.
not even giving them the chance to do that. And again, I feel like I've said this before. The judicial system is fucked up too. So even if they get into the courtroom, they're gonna get fucked even worse.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different story. Now they're not even letting them get to the fucking courthouse, and that's where I'm having issue here.
Yeah.
So, like,
they don't even get, I guess like you're saying too, like a say. And
yeah, at all.
Really, just hey, the cop's just like, hey, I want to, do what I want.
So on like, unless it's to the extreme where he murdered people and he's on the run from that, or did rape or anything insane like that, it's kind of hard to.
Or as far as like shoot back at a cop, because
or even
that's when you're like
okay,
kind of like you need to defend yourself, but they're literally defending themselves by either running away or like putting their hands up, and it's just like it just.
And even if they're running away, you have tasers, and two, you like if he runs away, like it's again if he's not like if he fucking stole from a corner store, which I'm not saying this is not specific to Dante because he didn't do anything like that at all. But if somebody robbed a store and like ran off, like cops don't even do high speed chases anymore.
No, yeah.
Because it endangers everybody else on the street. So it's just like like you'll get him eventually.
Yeah. What?
So if he tries to run, then like you can chase or just like, hey, I need backup. He's getting away from me. But like to be out here and like killing people to like I don't know, man.
Yeah. What's crazy though is. It's crazy because I was literally having a conversation with my mom about it, and we had saw some cops just like on a bike, and it was just like funny to me because I'm like, wow, this is a good way to like save money on cops because a lot of them just drive around, wasting gas and doing whatever. But then we ended up getting to the idea of like, oh yeah, about chasing somebody, and my mom was just saying like, yo, like if you were like a cop and you were like you had to like chase somebody, she was like, sometimes like it's not even worth chasing because it's just like that person, like you were saying, just stole or anything like that. It's like. Eventually, somebody's gonna get them, and it's like not to the degree where you need to chase that person, So it's just not worth it.
No matter what way you put it, they're in the wrong, and it's just like they refuse to do anything about it. This woman resigned, which people are like, yay, whatever. But like the issue with resigning and not getting fired is that when a cop resigns, they still have the ability to work at a different department. Yeah. So it's just like doesn't really do anything.
And it's just that idea. It's just that idea of like, okay, they resigned, and it's like. You gotta like ask yourself, like she's doing all this because why? Because she thinks she did right. It's like no, she knows she did wrong, and she's trying to kind of block herself away.
Yeah, because if they keep her in, it's gonna be another riot situation. Yeah. They already had riots spark up right away, and then it's like this is also simultaneously happening with the court case of like Derek Chauvin and the George Floyd situation, and then we also I don't know if you've seen this other story. Damn, I'm getting hungry. There's another story. Where I don't know the individual's name. I think they didn't even spread his name. They spread more of the guy who did it. Is like a military officer who like basically like confronted and like stalked this kid who was like walking around his own neighborhood. Did you see that video?
Yeah.
That video got me so heated. Did you watch it?
I heard about it. I don't think I watched like the video though.
If you watch the video, your blood pressure will skyrocket because it's a 16-year-old kid. He lives in the neighborhood. He's just walking around with headphones in, and then it's like I don't know what sparked it. I guess because it was just like they kept seeing him walking around, so they're just like, "What is this kid doing?" So they confronted him, and he's like, "Yo, I'm literally like just walking around listening to music. I'm about to go to my house." Like, and it's just this whole interrogation that was just unnecessary. He just like shoving the kid. And like saying like, oh, like where do you live? Like I never seen you here. I lived here all this time. Like let me walk you home.
No.
And he's just like, no, like we're not gonna do that. And then he's like, oh, I never seen you here. Like this is a tight knit community. This and that. He's like, all right, how long have you lived here? He's like, don't worry about it. Tell me where you live. And like just all this weird shit. Like, and he's like, oh, you in the wrong neighborhood, buddy. Like, and all these little comments and pushing and putting his finger up in his face. And like I'm just like, yo, like.
See, it's like little shit that like, I can understand because it's like, yo, like I'm not literally causing any problem. I was minding my business. You're the one who's starting all this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let me go home. Like,
Yeah. So luckily somebody was around and recorded it, and like, I don't know, it was just very weird.
I just can't believe, thinking about it. Like somebody literally, like a human being, literally said, "Oh, I'm going to go up to this person and like talk to them like this." Like I just for me is I can't believe somebody has like a thought process like that.
And what's funny is that, well, not funny, but at one point when he's all up in the kid's face, he's like, "Yo, like, have you been like you smell drunk, like, yo, can you like stop? Like you're being insane." And he just
Who, the kid?
the kid said that to the guy who was yelling at him. He was like, "Yo, like you smell like you've been drinking. Like, can you leave me alone?" And then he's like, "Yo, like just walk away. Like get the fuck out of my face." Like to this kid, and he starts walking away. And he starts following him.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yo, like I'm walking away, and you're still like egging on the situation." It's like that. You ever seen that puppet video of the kid in like the person in like Times Square? It's like a blue puppet, like with a camera, and some man is like, "Yo, stop recording me." He's like, "It's like I'm the one with the. You keep walking towards the camera," and it's just like he's like, "Yo, like I'm literally walking away from you, and you keep following me. Like, so what's the issue? Like, please leave me alone." He's like, "I'm going home." He's like, "All right, let us all walk you home." It's like, "Yo, that seems like mad like KKK-esque. Like,
that's not necessary at all. Let me go home. I know where I'm at." Like.
That shit got me mad. And then what's funny, I don't know if you've seen this part, but like the video obviously went viral. And then I guess his family and like people around the neighborhood got upset, and they all pulled up to the guy's house, and we're standing outside like, "Yo, like come outside, like where your energy at,
bro?
Yo, like
where you at,
and
homie?
somebody went outside with a sign that said, "Come outside, we're not gonna jump you," and just held it. And everybody's like, "Yo, like like you gonna stay?" They were just like, "You gonna stay inside all day? Like what happened? Like you was mad tough."
Exactly. We right outside with it. What's up, bro?
Everybody's just like, "Yo, like we not gonna do, like we just want answers. Like come talk to us."
Bro, you want to cook out, bro? Let's go to the backyard, bro. Cook us some burgers. Let's go.
And somebody got real husky, like, "Yo, like I'm on your property. Like what you gonna do? Come outside. Like what's up?"
When you're long.
And I think something happened with him as well. I think he got fired, or like resigned, or something like that.
Where your mom's at, bro?
Where your mom's
Where
at?
your mom's at, bro? Come on, come outside.
See, man, like I always say, like we're not gonna get into it, and then we just spend all this time because I just feel like I feel wrong not talking about it, bro.
You can't just go and just skim through it. It's something that needs to be talked about. So it sucks. It's not that. Like we don't want to have to talk about this stuff because things like this shouldn't be happening, but because it is, we have to. It's not right, and for anybody who thinks it is or thinks it's okay or thinks oh that person was in the right, just fuck you.
Yeah, don't watch us, please.
Don't watch us because it's like I can't believe you would ever think that you were allowed to do stuff like that. It's not right. No.
Don't even try and argue with us about it. Like this.
Yeah, like to think that you live on this planet and think that you have the right to do something like that. You have the right to be a judge to, do stuff like that to people. It's no. Like we were all here, created the exact same. You have no power over anybody else. So.
And what's funny is those same people are upset about. Did you see? Remember how can you forget? Like how all those crazy people like stormed the Capitol and shit, and that one lady passed away.
Yeah.
And it came out that the court ruling came out and said that like the cop didn't have any charges because like it was like it was okay that he like defended himself and killed it. And they're like, "Oh, like where's the justice for her?" and all this other shit. I'm like, "Yo, like she woke up that day and said, I'm gonna go and storm the Capitol and break down like government building glasses with a weapon and jump this fence and like ignore what cops are saying and not complying, which y'all like to argue about so much, and just basically assault police because police officers died that day and all this other shit." And now you're like, "Oh, where's the justice for her? Like she didn't do anything wrong." Like, what the fuck you mean she didn't do anything wrong?
There's no justice that needs to be done there. Like you're literally talking about somebody who's threatening, a piece of government property. It's almost as if it's like, I hate to use the word, but like terrorism. Like, like they're coming here. To
local
mess
terrorism.
Something up. Yeah, and you mean to tell me, like it'd be a different story
if anybody with a slight tan did the same shit, it would be game over. They would have shot everybody. They wouldn't have shot one white woman.
No,
they would have shot everybody there.
Exactly, would have been perfectly fine. It would have been even more insane as far as like the story about it, for sure. But everybody, some people would have thought, oh, it was right to do that.
Like during all this, we have never said like the cops shouldn't arrest people or doing like as long as there's like a proper process and there's proper reasoning for doing those types of things. So in this case in particular, I 100% agree that she should have been either I don't even want to say that she necessarily should have died. Like, that's unfortunate because you don't never want to see somebody pass away.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that it wasn't warranted in the way that that whole day was going.
Yeah.
Like, she just happened to be that one that ended up being shot and killed. Which is, I mean, I'm not saying that she should have died.
But
She should have at least been detained and arrested. I'll never say that the person should, because again, she didn't really, like, as far as I know, harm anyone.
No, yeah.
But it is unfortunate. But like,
yeah.
again, so you're like, if anybody wants to argue with us, like, you're confusing the two.
Yep.
Like we said before, there's like, if somebody stole something, like, you're not gonna say like they should die and get the death penalty. Like,
yeah, no.
I, in all honesty, should believe that that person should not have died and they should have been put through process and like did life in jail, but
yeah,
or a long time in jail for doing what they did because it wasn't right. I don't want to say they should have died, but she might have. If it were me, she probably would have said I should have died.
Yeah,
but you know, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm a man of forgiveness, so I'm gonna leave it there.
Play something.
You want? I mean, it's almost that time to get out of here, but
just like the worst one to probably. We need some laughter.
Yeah, just to switch that shift because we've been actually going for a while just because we had that little fuck up in the beginning. So we'll do what we can. Anything you want to say before we get out here, Mark? Then we can start doing outros.
Be safe. Be smart. You know, knowing what you should and shouldn't do. Shout out to Bad Bunny. We're gonna get you on here, so talking to you, so we could talk about how you be doing all those flips, what you had to go through for all that.
If you need a trio partners, we
exactly. Here. Tag teams, we're gonna get that belt, and also let's all slide through the PR.
Yeah, we'll all meet there. Exactly. We'll figure out WWE. We'll do WrestleMania for next year.
Exactly, we all meet there. It's gonna be a vibe.
Where can they find you, Mark?
You can find me at ETC Marky Mark on Instagram, Twitter Marky Mark, Twitch at MC Marky Mark. Victor, where can they find you and etc. at?
Find me on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch and TikTok. Basically all platforms at ETC Victor. Etc. Stuff is the same on all platforms as at real etc. The email is real.etc@gmail.com. Any last words before we get out of here, Mark? It's been a hell of a ride.
We love all of you.
We love all of you guys. We appreciate you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. Good night.